And as always, we appreciate you being right here at 6:30 for ABC24 Weather Impact Now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. We're joined by meteorologist Kit Thomas for a deep dive at that heat and the drought we've been in, and meteorologist Daniel McDonald a bit later for a check of your regional outlook. If this is your first time with us, thanks for sticking around. We're here every Monday to Friday at 6:30 for a deep dive into everything weather, mainly focused on what's going on here in Memphis and the Mid-South. So let's jump right in. It is the last day of April. Believe it or not, it seems like it was just starting, but we have made it to the end of April. So we always want to look back at what happened through the month and how it compared. Hottest temperature of the month was 86. That actually happened twice, on April 17th and April 26th. Lowest temperature, we got down to 44 on April 19th. Now, what we can do and how we measure average is we take all the high temperatures, we take all the low temperatures, and we combine them together, and that gives us an average for the month of 69 degrees for April of this year. Again, that combines the highs and lows. But compared to the average, we were 6 degrees above average for this month compared to the average for April, which the average typically runs for about the last 30 years. So we are very warm for April compared to where we normally are. And I know you felt that, especially with all those 80s that we saw, which was well above average. Something that was below average, though, was our rainfall. Even with all the rain we just saw, it still ended up being a pretty dry month. We did pick up 4.5 inches. 3.5 of that, though, came in the last 2 days from the rain we saw earlier in the week. Normal is about 5.5, so we were about an inch below average for the month, and we're still about 6 inches below average for the year. So we still have a lot of rain to make up, and Kit's going to talk about that drought and how that's going to be impacted coming up here in just a little bit. As far as your local forecast goes, it's going to be another cool and cloudy day tomorrow. We saw that today. The clouds really would not break up. They're going to stick around for tomorrow as well. There could even be a couple of showers as we look ahead to Friday night. I don't think it's anything major, but certainly some areas going to see some rain for your Friday night. And thankfully, we are leading into a very nice weekend. I want to show you kind of a broad picture of what is going on here as we take a look at the regional outlook for tomorrow and into the weekend. We have this area of low pressure that's down to our south. Now, there could be a little bit of moisture that gets kicked around on the top side of that low pressure on the north side where we are. And that's why we're thinking there could be at least a slight chance of some rain. Notice as that low pressure scoots by, this would be Friday night. Some of that moisture tries to creep up into North Mississippi. This would be closer to 11 p.m. Friday night. There could be just a little bit of rain here or there. I don't think it's going to be anything too major, but could be some sprinkles out there, and then that's going to clear out in time for the weekend. So that is good at least. Checking out what's going on outside right now. Clean sweep of the radar after the rain we saw earlier this week. Things are looking very nice and dry, but of course the clouds are still hanging on. We've got this thick layer of cloud cover that continues to funnel in from the west. That's going to keep us pretty cloudy and overcast for tomorrow as well. All the rain, though, now down to our south, Texas, Dallas to Houston, Austin, and then into Louisiana and southern Mississippi. That's where we have the best chance of some rain. But of course, we got all that rain earlier this week. We've been talking about how much of a drought we have been in lately. And unfortunately, probably not nearly enough to what we need. But for all the answers, we want to check in with meteorologist Kit Thomas. He's over at the Weather Wall. We have an update to the drought monitor today, Kit, but might not have been all the answers we were looking for, right?
Yeah, so we had all that rain that all came down on Tuesday. When we look back over the last 3 days, most of this is just from Tuesday, but we had a couple of places where we had a couple of days of rainfall. But here in Memphis, we had about 3.5 or so inches of rain. This is all estimated by radar. And even some places out across St. Francis County saw upwards of 6 to 7 inches of rainfall out in that direction. The thing is, whenever we draw the drought monitor, it actually only takes into account through Monday's data. So far, only about 14 inches. That puts us about 6 inches, like Trevor was saying, behind normal. So if we look back to last week, this was the drought monitor. We had that extreme drought across our northern viewing area and across the south just a little bit there. But we were in that severe drought. Now, you'd think with all that rain we saw on the map there that we'd really take out a big chunk of this. But the thing is, like I said, it only counts through Monday, so it didn't really change all that much. We'll probably see by next Thursday quite a bit of change here, but here's the thing with the drought. It's not the deficit, it's how much soil moisture there actually is down in the ground. So since we had all of that rain in just a day or two, it actually turned into a flash flooding event. We had a lot of runoff of all that rain. It went to the creeks, streams, and the river very, very quickly and didn't have the time to soak into the soil. So we will see some improvement to the drought, but it's not going to be a drought buster. We need more events like this as we go over the next couple of weeks for us to really start to get rid of the drought, especially here across northern Arkansas. It's probably going to take a couple of months of good soaking rain across northern Arkansas to get rid of that. Across northeastern Mississippi, it's not going to be quite as long-term of a drought there, where we just have that moderate drought. So, Trevor, it looks like we've got maybe another round of rain middle of next week, but hopefully that starts us off on a more wet pattern and brings in better rain chances for us to get rid of this drought.
Yeah, Kit, great explanation there. And like you mentioned, it's going to take several rounds of this rain to start to eat into that drought. You explained it so well the other night while we were tracking the storms. When the ground is so dry, it's almost like an old sponge, an old dry sponge. When you first start to put water on it, the water just runs away. It takes a little bit of time to start to soak into it. And that's how we had that flooding. The ground was so caked up and dry. Even though we got 3.5 inches of rain, not all of that made it into the ground. And that is why, unfortunately, we are still in a drought situation. We are dry tonight, but the clouds are going to hang around. We'll drop to about 52 for the low temperature here in Memphis. Some spots going to make it to the 40s by the time we wake up. Clouds stick around for tomorrow morning. It's going to be a dry commute, but cloudy and cool for this time of year. Again, starting off in the upper 40s to low 50s for your Friday morning. And temperatures really don't rebound all that much by tomorrow afternoon. In fact, we only make it to about 66 degrees here in Memphis. Other spots might be in the low to mid 60s because of all of that cloud cover not allowing as much sunshine through to warm us up. Also a little bit of a northerly wind out there. That's going to prevent any of that warm air advecting up from the south. Instead, we're just going to get some cooler air that continues to move in. So it is going to be another cloudy, cool day for tomorrow. Rain chances basically 0 through the day, so that is good. Friday looks dry, just going to be cloudy and cool. Now, tomorrow night, we do have, again, that slight chance of some rain. That low pressure zone going to pass by to our south. That could get some of our counties involved with some shower activity for Friday night. Best chances in North Mississippi, Clarksdale, Batesville, Oxford, Holly Springs, and Corinth. You're a little bit more likely to see some light rain overnight Friday night, closer to midnight. I don't think it makes it much farther than that. In fact, Memphis, I think the odds of us seeing any major rain are very slim. There could be a couple of sprinkles that make it as far north as Memphis Friday night, but I don't think anybody's going to see anything that is too impactful. Even down in North Mississippi, it's going to be a very light rain that only lasts for a couple of hours. So nothing, again, too crazy going on. Starting off the hour by hour tomorrow morning, this is 7 a.m. Radar looks nice and dry. We fast forward through the afternoon and the evening, still looking just fine. But look what happens once the sun goes down. 9 p.m., we start to get some sprinkles flirting with North Mississippi. Clarksdale and Oxford, maybe a couple of sprinkles by 9 p.m. Closer to midnight, though, we get a more steady light rain throughout North Mississippi. So again, this is midnight Friday night going into Saturday morning. This is when Clarksdale, Batesville, Oxford, Holly Springs, Senatobia could see some light rain showers. Notice how on this model it doesn't get to Memphis. I can't rule out a couple of sprinkles Friday night in Memphis, but nothing that's going to impact us too much. And thankfully, it clears out very quickly. By Saturday, we're dry, and that low pressure system passing by also advects in some dry air, and it gets the cloud cover out of here. So we are looking much sunnier as we get into the weekend. 68 degrees with sunshine on Saturday. Notice, though, it does get a little cool Saturday night. So if you've got plans Saturday night, we drop all the way to the 40s. And then back to the 70s on Sunday with sunshine continuing. No chance of rain this weekend. It looks absolutely fantastic. And of course, that is great news for Riverbeat Music Fest. The first weekend of May, always our Music Fest weekend, and it seems like we always have some sort of catastrophic thunderstorm that weekend. Not this weekend, though. Weather looks very nice. Friday night for the Red Clay Strays, cloudy. We also got salt and pepper Friday night too. 50s and eventually falling into the 40s. It is going to be a little chilly if you're out late. We'll stay cloudy and again, just a very slight chance of a sprinkle. Saturday night, Wu-Tang Clan. I think we also have Wale in there. Clear for the most part, temperatures in the 50s, and then Dave Matthews Band and T-Pain wrapping it up Sunday night, clear and not quite as chilly. We'll stay in the 60s through the end of Sunday night. We are tracking some more slight rain chances by next Tuesday. We have another cold front that's going to swing through here. And that's going to bring in, again, some off and on rain showers on Tuesday. Thankfully, not expecting severe weather, but we are going to see some rain. This did speed up a little bit. We were initially looking at Wednesday for the better chance of rain. I think it's going to be Tuesday now, and then the rain will be gone in time for Wednesday. So if you got plans on Wednesday, got some good news for you there. 67 degrees for tomorrow, partly cloudy, or mostly cloudy, I should say. Hardly a peak of sun at all. It's going to be basically overcast sky tomorrow. Mostly dry through the day, but maybe some sprinkles late at night. Better chance of showers in North Mississippi. Weekend looks fantastic, sunny and dry. 68 Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Overnight and morning lows, though, are going to be a little chilly, 40s and 50s. So if you're going to be out late at River Beat, might want an extra layer with you. 78 and sunny on Monday. Tuesday's that next best chance of rain. That's when you're going to need the umbrella next, some off and on showers. Again, thankfully not expecting any major severe weather there. Partly cloudy Wednesday up to 77, and then we'll keep the sunshine around on Thursday with highs also in the 70s. So all in all, not a bad forecast, and thankfully we are looking at sunshine for the weekend, just in time for River Beat. We're not always that lucky, so thankfully we can enjoy that sunshine this weekend. Do want to remind you, if you want to join the ABC24 Weather Watchers and see your photo right here on the air, you can scan that QR code. You can also just search up on Facebook, ABC24 Weather Watchers. We take your photos, your videos, your reports. We had a lot of those during the severe weather this past week, earlier in the week. So if you do have any photos of interesting weather or just a blue sky, we'd love to see it. Again, that's the ABC24 Weather Watchers app on Facebook. Taking a live look outside right now, downtown. Still some clouds, but it does look like a nice sunset on the way, and we are dry for tonight. We've got some more coming up for you after the break.